throughout his entire life, Joshua chose to serve the Lord. Joshua chose to fight against the Amalekites, choosing when it might have cost everything. Joshua chose to reject the golden calf, choosing when the flesh might have been satisfied. Joshua chose to serve the Lord by serving Moses, choosing a humble place. Joshua chose to believe God's promise about the promised land, choosing against the view of the majority. Joshua chose to recognize the leadership of the captain, the commander of the Lord's army, choosing surrender to God. Joshua chose to take leadership of Israel and lead them into the promised land, into Canaan, choosing faith instead of unbelief. Joshua chose. Joshua resolved himself in all of these situations to serve the Lord. And in our reflections today, as we look at Joshua 24, verses 15 through 18, we want to consider the fact that Joshua's legacy was seen in his resolve. As we look back at the consistency and the circumstances of Joshua's life, we can see the many situations, some of which I have just described, where he resolved, where he purposely chose to serve the Lord. Verse 15 says this: "But as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord." In other words, Joshua is saying, irrespective of what anybody else does, as for me and my household, here's what we're going to do. We're going to resolve to serve the Lord. That is our choice. And this verse shows us that Joshua also understood that he, as the priest, as it were, of the family, was charged spiritually with the responsibility to see that his whole house served the Lord. Fathers, take note. As the head of your family, as the priest, as it were, of your family, you have a responsibility to see that your whole house serves the Lord. His resolve and the challenge to the people was to put away other gods. What are other gods? Well, other gods are all those things in our life that come ahead of the Lord. They need to be put away in the cupboard. And the challenge was also to serve the Lord with sincerity and with faithfulness. The word sincerity means wholeheartedly, completely, with integrity. And that challenge was earthed in the soil of a choice. Joshua challenged the people to choose, to resolve in their own minds and hearts who they would serve. To borrow the words of the old hymn, who is on the Lord's side? Who will serve the King? Are you on the Lord's side this morning, today, this evening, whenever you might be listening to this reflection? And will you serve the King? Perhaps more to the point, are you serving the King? Are you and your house serving the King? Many gods clamour for our attention today, and many so-called gods would have clamoured for the attention of the children of Israel then. But Joshua's legacy is seen here in his resolve that the people should choose to serve the Lord. Joshua had served the Lord throughout his life, and in his final address, he was highlighting the importance of serving the Lord. Joshua, the godly leader that he was, sets the example. He tells them of what he expects, and then tells them that regardless of what they might do, he is going to serve the Lord. He states his clear intention to serve God. The people consider all that the Lord has done for them, and they declare their allegiance to him alone. As we read, we too will serve the Lord because he is our God. As the people look back on what God had done for them, it was a foregone conclusion in many respects that they would serve the Lord. They seem almost incredulous when offered the opportunity to serve other gods. No, we will serve the Lord. Is that the declaration of our heart today? Is that the resolve of our heart and mind today? If we had to rank God on a list of priorities in our life, where would he end up? Only you can answer that question. What will your resolve be? What choice will you make? As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. May that be true of you and your house as we reflect on this passage from Joshua and these words of Joshua today.